had so many books to choose from. 21 books is a lot of books to choose from. So that was tough. But I did it. I narrowed it down. Hey, it's been a while since I've posted. I am so excited about the new books that I've chosen for 2023 to read. So as some of you know, I've posted before regarding my reading goals. So I've said this before in previous videos that I used to read a lot. I enjoyed it, and I think in the 5th grade is where I really became a very avid, committed reader. And I used to read a lot of things: Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou. I used to read all these books. And then went off to college. Oh, Coldest Winter Ever, Sister Soldier books, all those things. And so I went off to college, and usually once you become a college student, undergrad, graduate, you're really not looking to read for leisure because of all the things you have to read for studying purposes. So in 2019, I decided that I want to pick up reading again, and I want to be just as much of a vivacious reader that I was in the 5th grade. I want to do it now in my adulthood. And you don't necessarily lose that ability to do that. It's just that life becomes a little busier when you are, an adult. So sometimes it can make it a little harder for you to carve out the time you need for yourself to do some leisurely type things. So I decided in 2019 that I would choose 6 books to read. That would be my goal for the year, because I would give myself 2 months per book. That's a realistic goal for me. Some people can read 1 book a month. Some people can read more than that, right? But for me, realistically, it makes the most sense to choose 6 books and give myself 2 months per book. So I did that from 2019, I did that in 2020, I did it in 2021, I did it in 2022, and now here we are in 2023. So the past 5 years, and I had 21 books to choose from this year, and it was so hard to choose, okay? Super hard. Like, really hard to choose. And I will either insert the photo of all the books I had to choose from, or I'll put it in a clip after this one so you can see all the books I had to choose from. So I had to choose. And I narrowed it down to 6 books, right? Because that is the goal, 6 books for the year. The 21 books that I accumulated over the cost, over over a 2-year or maybe like a 1-year period, because there are books that I would purchase for myself. There are books that I would get for Christmas and other people would purchase for me. And sometimes I wouldn't. For instance, right, A Promised Land by President Barack Obama came out, was it 2 years ago? And my parents bought me that book for Christmas, and I still haven't read it yet, right? So sometimes certain books make the cut for the following year, and sometimes they don't, and I just read them at a later date in a later time. So I do like to basically read sometimes memoirs, anything political based, and then the more soft, cool, fictional type of books. I love that. So the 6 books that I chose, I am going to share them now, are 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. And this caught my eye because, one, I always pick my books based off of what the cover looks like, and I also try to read the first like 2 or 3 pages, and the blurb gives me an idea of what I can expect from the book. And this sounds like a cute passion type love story. I also like to read mainly Black authors, so this sounds really good, like a good interesting read. Love, passion, all the things. I just started this book earlier this week. I just started this book, so I chose 7 Days in June. Then I chose Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl by Joya Gaffney. So I chose this. This is supposed to be like for teens. Ooh, I'm about to drop this. For teens-ish, like older teens. But I love books like this because they sound so fun. And when you read the blurb, you know, it's a young teenage girl who is navigating teenage things. And I love reading books like this. So the cover, of course, caught my eye. I read the blurb. This young lady is a preacher's daughter. And she, imagine being a teenager and being a preacher's daughter. I mean, I can attest to that because I am a preacher's daughter. So while she's on her quest, she discovers the value of true friendship and wonders of a love that accepts her for who she is. So I thought this was interesting. This caught my eye. Okay, I love the little teeny bops. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I thought this would be an interesting read as well. Of course, once again, the cover, the blurb, and the first couple of pages. This is about 2 people who were married. I guess their marriage falls apart, and then they're trying to figure out if they should just let it go or if they should come back together. And so I was like, oh, another love situation. I'm down for that. And then I have American Dirt by Janine Cummins. This is something a little different, right? There's some political undertones in this. This takes place in Mexico. A young lady who runs a bookstore. She has a son, and there's some things going on in regards to, I believe, cartel type illegal things going on. So I'm interested in American Dirt. I would read y'all the blurb, but I feel like we would be here forever if I did that. A Mayor's Life, Governing New York's Gorgeous Mosaic by David and Dinkins. So I am a New Yorker, born and raised in New York City, Queens by way of Brooklyn. So I remember growing up, I think I was in the third or fourth grade. I went to Gracie Mansion while Mayor Dinkins was in office, and his wife read to us. She read Tar Beach to us, which is one of my favorite books. I even purchased it for my niece. And I remember that very distinctly. And he was the first Black mayor in New York City. And I remember him vaguely growing up. So I just wanted, and I read a couple of the first pages, and I found that his story is very interesting. So I wanted to get this. So I purchased A Mayor's Life. And then last but not least, All About Love by Bell Hooks. I purchased this as well. There's some people in my life who recommended it and have read it. So I wanted to take the opportunity to read it too. So this is another one of my 6 books for the year. So those are my 6 books for the year. I cannot wait to read them, give myself the opportunity to enjoy them because I have 2 months for each book. I have a couple of light reads in here. As you can see, we got some lovey-dovey stuff. We got some teenage navigating type stuff. Then we got a little bit of political and memoir combined together type stuff. And some self-reflecting stuff with all about love and just understanding love, not necessarily just in a romantic sense, but in a worldly sense. So I look forward to reading those. If you are an avid reader like myself, let me know what books you enjoy. Let me know what book, and if any of the books that you saw right here that I'm about to read, if you read them, don't tell me what happens. Also, just let me know if any of the 21 books that you see that I posted, if you read any of those. Once again, don't tell me anything about what happens. You can just say, I read that, or I haven't read that yet, but I want to read it. Don't tell me if it's good. Don't tell me if it's bad. I just want to know if you read it. So thank you for watching, and I hope to be a little more consistent. I don't do book reviews in that way, but if I ever feel so inclined and motivated, I might. If a book inspires me in that way to do so, I might just be like, hey girl, hey guy, this is what happened. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed. See you soon, and get your read on. It is fun. Bye.